Welcome to the channel. This is Go Gretty, and welcome to the 2023-2024 Gran Turismo World Series Exhibition Season 1, Round number 2. Tonight, we are at Dragontrail Seaside in reverse. And yes, it is Round 2. You did not miss Suzuka. I didn't put it on film because I couldn't just get myself to watch the replay after dying so many times in the rain. Hopefully, we have better luck here. So as you can see, I had 213 points in the first round, which was good for 33rd in Porsche. Not pleased with that. We need to improve on that result. Won't be too hard. Hopefully, it won't be too hard. I need to just get something in the mid to high 200s. I'll be pretty happy. But as I always say, in order to get a good race in, you got to get that good qualifier. So out first, out of the pits, which is always nice because you got plenty of clean air in front of you. Across the line with the 138.510. Was not happy with that at all. I need to put something down in the 137s to start near the front of the pack. Probably need to play with the shifter a little bit less there through the reverse direction of the Death Chicane. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, and it's the truth. I don't know what else to say there. All right, down into first gear. Coming out of the double left-handers, I missed my apex by about half the track width. Not good, but I did carry good speeds. I wasn't too upset with it. I really don't feel like this lap is going that great, to be honest with you. I carry decent speed through the S's. You want to be smooth through here, and you want to carry a lot of speed, and it's a little jerky through there. And then as we come down here, I get on the brakes just about the appropriate amount of time, up into second gear, throttle it on out, get on the curbs. Don't go onto that hump of the curb, because if you do, you will wash out. You'll get all curb glitched and head on off onto the wall there. And then down here into the final chicane, come out, carry a decent amount of speed into second gear again. Got to be careful if you go over the hump in the curb there. It can end very badly for you if you do. Cross the line with the 137.9, and that will be good enough for P6 to start the race. So up at the front half of the field, that was what I wanted. So I was pretty pleased with that qualifying time, which means all I got to do now is, perform my strategy and do it flawlessly, because the damage is heavy. And if you get any damage at all, you can just watch your position fall towards the back. So we get the countdown, we start the race, and right off the bat, I'm catching P5 here in the GTR. And I'm like, you know what, I should send it down the inside. Then he swerves over the inside. I was like, I'll just be patient here. And I wish I had sent it, because it turns out he is on the hard tires. I give him a little bump there from behind. Wasn't expecting to even have to give him that little tap from behind there. Didn't need to do that, because like I said, the damage is heavy, so you have to be very careful in hitting other cars, or you might get damaged. But knowing that he's on the hard tires, I'm trying to hold back as we go through the Death Chicane, because I want a good run coming out of it to possibly make a move here into the double left-hander. And he ends up making a move on V Motors there, so I'm unable to make a move on him. Now I'm stuck behind V Motors, who is also on hard tires. I'm like, well, I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to be patient. They're going to go into the pits here. It's not a big deal. So break early here, going into the S's, and everything's looking good as we go into the second set. Again, I'm just following behind them as we come out of the S's. Him and the GTR go a little bit wide, causing me to nick the rear bumper of the car. And I'm letting off too. I was like, no. I was letting off the gas. I did not want to nick the back of the car like that. I chalked it up to a racing incident because they both went wide right there. I mean, if you're going to start the race on hard tires, you got to hit those apexes, because the people behind you in the soft tires, I wasn't trying to get by them right there or anything. I was just trying to be patient. They are so slow in these corners, and they're going in kind of fast and exiting slow, and it's just making it difficult on me because I'm trying to slow down and then exit fast, and then the combination is just absolutely terrible. But the Nissan stays out on the hard tires. I'm like, crap. Well, let's see if I can't get around him here on this left-hander. And then as I'm trying to go down the inside, the McLaren tries to go down inside of me and hits me in the back left corner, which drives me into the Nissan there. So messy start to the race. Gretty killing someone on lap 1, almost gets killed on lap 2. And, you know, that's the danger of starting on those hard tires out front when you got fast guys behind you on the soft. Not making excuses. Still shouldn't be nicking people in the rear for going out on the hards. And I was honestly trying to just be patient, but unfortunately did not work out. Now as I come down through the double left-hander there, and I just need to put a second on the guy behind me to get him out of the slipstream as I come down through the final set of chicanes. I have indeed broken that 1 second barrier, 1.4 seconds as we head to start lap number 2. On to lap number 11, and the 3.9 second lead that P2 had on me is still right there, about 3.9, about 8.3 in front. And my strategy has got to come into play here. I'm going 11 soft, fuel with the softs, another 11 laps. Then I'm going to do a single lap of hards on the end. That is my strategy. I can mix that hard tire lap anywhere I want. I'm just going to hold it off to the end to try and just stay out in clean air as long and as much as possible. What I don't want to do is pit and end up, you know, in the mess with all the people back there. Somebody on a weird different strategy. You know, as you saw, the mix of hard and soft tires doesn't really work where it's pretty awkward because you got 2 tire combination difference. And sometimes it's hard to tell exactly where people are going to be braking and slowing down or how much they're going to slow down. So I was trying to avoid that altogether by just staying out in front on the softs to the very end. Then I'll put the hards on and see how it plays out. So it'll be pitting on lap number 11, pitting on lap number 22, and then pitting again on lap number 33 for the hards. Now on that second pit stop, I'm going to have to add on the third pit stop, I'm going to have to add fuel be able to make it to the end of the race. So here we are at the end of lap number 11. I am planning on pitting here, you know, just looking at all the distances to everyone, trying to figure out everyone's strategy. Tires, as you can see, they are dead now, so perfect time to get into the pits. P1 is also going to the pits here at the end of lap 11, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. We're on the same strategy. Notice on the bottom left corner, I just had that arrow down there showing that. You can look at what tires you've run in that bottom left as you're coming in the pit stop. So know that if you did not already know that, you can look in that bottom left corner and see what tires you have run before you select your tires. Coming out of the pits, just beat the GTR that I was behind at the beginning of the race on the exit here of the pits into turn 1. Just snuck right out in front of him there. I believe he is on his hard tire lap right now, because as we go through this chicane, he is unable to hold it there and goes wide, nicks the guardrail there, allowing me to open up that gap between the two of us. Now I continue to open the gap throughout the rest of this lap, which is why I believe he is on the hard tires, and is why he wasn't able to get an undercut on me, is because he had those hard tires on. So feeling good about my position in the race. I'm in P5 right now. That I'm on the same strategy, it seems, as the leader in the race is. Again, it's really hard to tell what the others in front of you are doing as far as strategies. Like we have Party Next Door in front of me right now. Now he started a good bit behind me, but he's about 2.5 seconds in front of me. So I'm like, well, what kind of strategy is he running? Because we're on lap number 12 and he's on soft, so I wouldn't be catching up to him like this. And as you can see right here, as I come down through the double left-handers on lap number 13, I'm really reeling him in quickly. So he's either on some kind of hard tire strategy or a medium tire strategy. I don't know. I have no idea what tire he's on right now. And all I can do is catch up to him and just try to get by him cleanly without anything happening. That's really what you hope for in this race. It is 34 laps long. If you get that heavy damage, man, you are going down, because even just a little bit of front spoiler damage will knock your lap times off by about a second. So you don't want any damage at all. Now as I'm coming out through the very end of the lap here, we are right getting close up to Party Next Door. He is in the Ford GT, so I've got to get a great run coming out the last corner, because this thing is a rocket ship on the straight. I get an excellent exit. He gets a little squirrely coming out of the last corner. I have an exit that I need, but I'm not quite close enough, and the Porsche doesn't have nearly the top end as the Ford GT does. But he puts on his right turn signal and says, hey, I'm going to stay right. I'm like, oh, cool, thank you. Goodness for that. And gets loose. Now I'm just trying to dodge him to keep from hitting him. Now I got to give him the space on the inside. So I switch from going for the pass on the inside and doing the pass on the outside while dodging him. And he gives me a flick of the lights, giving me the old thank you there for for not taking me out as he lost the rear end going into turn one. That was hairy. That was close. We both could have died right there fairly easily, but luckily we get through there without any harm. So murdered someone lap one. It was almost murdered in lap two, and then in lap three we finally get a pass done without being murdered or murdering someone. So I felt pretty good about that pass, and I was pretty glad that Party Next Door was able to catch the car without losing right there so he can stay in the race. Now I'm looking at the front of the list in front of me, and all I see out in front of me is the original leader. He's about 7 seconds out on me right now, and after 14 laps I feel pretty good about only being 7 seconds back from the leader. Now I need to focus on putting good, solid, clean lap times and try and reel him in. So here we are on lap 17. Again, 8.2 seconds off the leader, not terrible. 2.8 seconds back to USR Figaro. Now Figaro started in front of me, so I'm like, has he run his hard tire set now, and he's only 2 seconds behind me because the pit stop is about 16 seconds. So if he has already run his hard tires, I mean, really, he's like 14 seconds in front of me. But I don't know, because I don't know what his pit strategy is. It's odd that he's now 2.5 seconds behind me. He's brought that down to 2. My lap times are looking pretty consistent, so I'm pretty happy with that. The tire wear is looking pretty good after this stint of 11. The car has lightened up a little bit, so now I'm going to go in, grab some tires, grab some fuel for the last set of 11. So right here, 10 liters per second filling up. No need to try and be skimpy on it, because I mean, if you undershoot it by just a hair, you might save, a quarter of a second. So I go ahead and fill it up to the diamond and head on out of the pits with enough fuel to finish the race, but not too much fuel. Right now I'm not having to short shift the Porsche, but I'm not holding the gear any longer than I need to, and I'm able to manage my fuel very nicely. So if you come out here on lap number 23, I am in 4th place now behind the PREC driver as well as the leader and Figaro. Now Figaro's now taking the lead over the original leader of the race. The PREC driver goes into the pits onto his soft tires, so now he has fallen back, and I have absolutely no idea where I am in this race at this point because the pit stops are all over the place. Now Figaro goes into the pits on lap 27 of 34. He's only got 7 laps left. So I'm like, is he going to come out on hard? So what is his strategy? I'm like, what? Certainly he's not going in and put on another set of softs. And here he's filling up, and he's about to come out the pits, and sure enough, he's coming out on hard tires. So I do have a chance to pull away from him and get out in front of him, in the pit stop. Now behind me, Figaro is 4 seconds, so I have got to put about 12 seconds on him in the next 6 laps. And there's about a 2-second difference between the hard and soft tires. My soft tires have quite a few laps on them, so it's not like we're going out, right at the same time, hard to softs, and I'm able to really put that soft to use. So now here we are on lap number 33, the final lap before I pit. I'm about 13 seconds or 12 seconds off of the leader. I got the PREC driver in between me and Figaro, so I don't know how far behind me he is. Now the PREC driver is 12 seconds behind me, but how far back behind the PREC driver is Figaro? He needs to be 16 seconds behind me for me to jump him coming out on this final lap. And I'm trying not to stare too much at the times and the map and all that. I'm trying to hit my apexes and drive quickly, because I would love to land on the podium. I have not done well in quite a long time. 2 weeks ago, I performed so badly at Suzuka, I couldn't even bring myself to bring up the replays to do the video. I raced 2 of those hour, 20-minute long races. Both times I was up near the pointy end of the stick, up near the front of the pack, and managed to die several times in both races, and it was just so incredibly frustrating. So this week I would love to have a good result, make up for what was a very disappointing week last week, and put some decent points on the board, move up the rankings a little bit, feel like I've accomplished something in this series. We'll see. We'll see what we can do here. We've got one lap to go. I'm about to head in the pits. I look up there. I'm about 12 seconds on the PREC driver, and that little arrow behind the PREC driver is Figaro. He is who I have to beat. Coming out of the pits, I go in there. I switch onto the hard tires. I come out of the pits. Where is Figaro? He is coming. I can hear his car, and there he goes. About a half second's difference between the two of us after 33 laps. Couldn't get any closer than that coming out of the pits, and I'm thinking to myself of all the things I could have done differently. I could have taken a little less fuel. I have 1.6 laps of fuel left. I could have just been a little better on a couple of those laps. Heck, the hard tires at the beginning of the race, that held me up by like a full 2 seconds, and I could have had P3 that's sitting right there, but it's not over yet. There's still a little bit of the track remaining. Now, he managed to get through the Death Chicane without hitting the walls. One more chance here. As the exit of this, the curb is pretty gnarly, but he keeps it in bounds there. He does not ride the curb, so no death there. One chance remains for Gretty to hopefully get a Gretty pass and be able to take the podium. Coming out of the exit here, the corner, the curbing on the left here could get him. He stays way away from it. He doesn't even flirt with it. And he has got P3 wrapped up unless he runs out of fuel, which is not likely. So, go from P6 to P4. I'm pretty happy with that. I get a 4th place in this race. That felt really nice. Really good time for me. That was probably the best time I've run this race as of yet. So I'm super happy with my performance in this race. It's nice when you put in the work and you're able to get a decent result. Ended up getting 281 points, so super pleased with that. And I'm going to look forward to the Nürburgring. Probably got to put in some practice for that race. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed all the action. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come back and check out some more. For myself, go Gretty. Y'all have a great evening.